Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to getting informed fast. Today, we're tackling a role that's, well, pretty central now, the Chief Data Officer, or CDO. Some call data the lifeblood of modern business.
That's a great way to put it. And the CDO is right at the heart of that. In this deep dive, we'll unpack what they do, the challenges they face, and, what their focus tells you about a company.
Right, that's fascinating. You mentioned their focus. So, if a CDO is mainly dealing with risk,
Yeah, if it's mostly risk mitigation, it often suggests, well, maybe a more reactive approach to data. Still important, but maybe less mature.
but if they're talking AI, data monetization, that's different.
That signals a more proactive, probably more data-driven company. It's like a quick diagnostic, really, for how serious a company is about its data and digital transformation.
Okay, got it. So how did this role even come about? It feels relatively new.
It is, and it's evolved incredibly quickly. Back in the early 2000s, it started very defensively. Think regulations, Sarbanes-Oxley, Basel II, especially in finance.
Ugh, so compliance-driven. The background was probably legal or technical.
Often, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then, maybe mid-2010s, the scope widened a bit. Reporting, analytics started creeping in. Sometimes called a Chief Data and Analytics Officer, a CDAO.
But still maybe not fully strategic yet.
Not always driving real-time decisions, perhaps. But from the late 2010s until now, big shift. It's become a really strategic business enabler role.
Leveraging data for innovation, efficiency.
Precisely. Customer engagement, too.
Yep.
And you see rapid adoption of advanced analytics, AI, machine learning. It's a whole different ballgame.
But it sounds like that rapid change hasn't been smooth sailing. I've heard people talk about the CDO blues.
Oh, absolutely. That quick evolution. It's created a lot of confusion, lack of clarity about what the role is, what the priorities are.
And that leads to problems.
Definitely. Ambiguity, shifting goalposts, often not enough resources. It contributes to really high turnover. Over half of CDOs are gone in under 3 years. Some last less than 2.
Wow. So the role itself is sometimes seen as fragile.
Yeah, terms like nascent, evolving, even failing get thrown around. And the lines can blur with the CIO or CTO, which doesn't help.
Okay, so it's a tough gig. Given that evolution and those challenges, what does a modern CDO actually do? What's the day-to-day look like?
Fundamentally, they're a strategic leader. Job one is defining the data vision and strategy, making sure it lines up perfectly with the big business goals, revenue, customer experience, transformation efforts.
So setting the direction, but they also have to execute, right?
Absolutely. They lead the implementation, get buy-in from the C-suite, push for data literacy across the whole organization, and crucially, they have to connect everything back to measurable business outcomes. Show the ROI.
That sounds like it needs serious communication skills, translating data speak into business value.
Exactly. Then there's the operational side, managing the whole data lifecycle collection, processing, storage, usage, even deletion.
Making sure the data is actually useful and accurate.
Right. Overseeing analytics, guiding data scientists, figuring out the tech and infrastructure needed cloud platforms, scalable stuff. And a huge piece is constantly improving data quality, tackling what we call data debt.
Data debt. That sounds ominous.
It is. It's basically the accumulated cost of poor data quality. Bad data can cost companies, get this, up to $3.1 trillion annually worldwide.
Trillion. Okay, that puts the focus on quality and governance into perspective.
It really does. Which leads to the third core area, data governance and compliance. Establishing frameworks for quality, security, availability. Defining who owns what data. Setting ethical AI policies.
And keeping up with all the rules, GDPR, CCPA.
All of that. Ensuring regulatory compliance is huge, plus robust data security and privacy. And championing ethical data use, tackling AI bias, protecting consumer privacy, being transparent. The CDO is essentially the trust architect for the company's data.
Trust architect, I like that. But even with that critical role, you mentioned hurdles. One of the big ones they keep hitting.
Well, beyond the role ambiguity we talked about, there are major organizational hurdles. Sometimes the role just isn't fully understood or empowered. Limited authority, not enough resources.
And data silos. I hear that one a lot.
Still a massive issue. Something like 82% of companies say silos inhibit them. It kills collaboration. Plus, you often find real resistance to change, the lack of that data-driven culture we mentioned. That can cause friction with other execs.
Internal battles on top of everything else. What about external pressures?
Huge. Navigating the ever-growing web of global privacy law, as you called it, regulatory whack-a-mole earlier. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it feels like it's always changing.
It is. And then there's the sheer pace of technology, AI, ML, You have to constantly adapt. So it's this tough balancing act.
Yeah.
Stay compliant, but also innovate. It's intense.
You can really see why it's such a challenging yet vital position.
Definitely.
So, wrapping this up, what's the key takeaway for you, our listeners? It seems the CDO is absolutely central now for driving value, for innovation.
Yeah. And their success isn't just about being tech savvy. It's just as much about leadership, communication, business sense, building bridges across the company.
Right. And for organizations, just hiring a CDO isn't the magic bullet.
Not at all. You have to give them a clear mandate, the resources they need, and real backing from the top. The C-suite has to be bought in. Otherwise, you won't unlock data's potential.
So here's something to think about. As data solidifies its place as the foundation of business and AI gets more powerful, how is that trust architect role of the CDO going to evolve? And maybe think about what their success or their struggles means for how you interact with data and the companies you deal with every day.